Most men know what they want to become. They have seen it, they have felt it, they have sat with a video, maybe one in this very playlist, and felt that fire, that genuine, real conviction that this time things are going to be different. And then they wake up the next morning and the day looks exactly like the day before. Not because the vision was wrong, not because the desire was fake, but because nobody showed them what the vision looks like at 6 in the morning on a Tuesday when nothing feels inspiring, nothing feels significant, and everything feels completely ordinary. That is what this video is. The Tuesday morning blueprint. Setup. Before I give you the 5 habits, I need to change the way you think about what a habit actually is. Most men think of habits as things they do. That guy understands habits as things he is. Every habit is not just an action, it is a vote for the identity you are building. Every morning you move your body, that is a vote. Every time you pick up a book, that is a vote. Every time you do the hard thing when it would have been easier to avoid it, that is a vote. And votes accumulate quietly, daily, without drama, until one day the votes are so many, so consistent that they produce a verdict, and the verdict is the man. So when I give you these 5 habits, I am not giving you a to-do list. I am giving you an architecture, a structure for becoming that guy, not through one dramatic decision, but through 5 quiet, daily votes that compound into someone the world cannot ignore. These are not the only habits that matter, but these 5, in my observation of men who have genuinely elevated their lives, are the ones that separate men still talking about change from men who are living it. Master these 5 and everything else starts to follow. He moves his body every single day. Not when he feels like it, not when he has enough time, not when his schedule allows. Every single day, something intentional with the body. It does not have to be a 2-hour training session. It does not have to be brutal or exhausting. A focused workout, a long deliberate walk, stretching with intention, movement that says, I showed up for my body today regardless of how I felt about it. Here is why this habit is the foundation of all the others. The body and the mind are not separate systems. When you move your body with intention, your energy rises, your clarity sharpens, your discipline in every other area of your life strengthens. The man who trains daily is not just building a body, he is building the mental and emotional infrastructure that makes every other habit possible. And on the days you do not really feel like it, those are the most important days, because showing up on those days sends the most powerful message to yourself. The message is, I do not negotiate with how I feel. I have a standard and I hold it. That message, repeated daily, becomes the foundation of unshakable self-trust. He protects his morning. The first hour of the day is the most important hour, not because of some rigid 5-step routine that took 3 years to build, but because of what it signals and what it produces. Most men wake up and immediately hand their morning away. The phone is in their hand before their eyes are fully open. Someone else's content, someone else's news, someone else's agenda flowing into their mind before they have had a single thought of their own. And they wonder why the day feels like it belongs to everyone else. That guy owns his morning before the world gets access to him. What does that look like? At minimum, no phone for the first 30 minutes. Some form of movement, something that feeds the mind. A moment of clarity about what the day needs from him. That is it. It does not need to be complicated. It does not need to be 5 in the morning. It needs to be his. A morning that belongs to him first, before the noise, before the demands, before the world arrives. The man who owns his morning owns his psychology. And the man who owns his psychology owns his day. And the man who owns his days owns his life. He reads and feeds his mind every day. 10 pages, that is the minimum. 10 pages of something real, something challenging, something that expands how you see the world every single day. Not a scroll, Not a reel, not a podcast you are half listening to while doing something else. 10 pages of deliberate, focused reading. That is roughly 15 minutes. Every man alive has 15 minutes. That guy treats his mind like an athlete treats his body. It needs daily input to stay sharp. And just like the body, a mind that stops being challenged starts to atrophy. The worldview narrows. The conversations thin out. The ability to think deeply about complex things, that edge starts to dull. And people feel that dullness even when they cannot name it. There is something about spending time with a man who reads, who thinks, who has ideas that are genuinely his own, that is magnetic in a world where most people are just recycling what they last watched. What should you read? Start with what genuinely interests you. Biography, philosophy, strategy, history, business, whatever pulls you in. The habit matters more than the genre. 10 pages a day, 365 days is roughly 18 books a year. 18 books a year, every year. Do the math on what that does to a man's mind over a decade. The man who reads is always in a different conversation to the man who does not. Always. He does the hard thing first. Every single day, there is one thing on your list that you do not want to do. You know what it is. You have known since yesterday. It might be a difficult conversation you have been putting off. A task that requires deep focus and feels overwhelming before you start. A commitment you made to yourself that feels heavy this morning. The thing that has been sitting at the back of your mind creating low-level noise. The kind of noise that drains energy without you even realizing it. That guy does the hard thing first. Not after the easy things. Not once he has warmed up with tasks that feel comfortable. First, before the day has had the chance to give him reasons to delay it further. Here is what most men do not understand about avoidance. The thing you avoid does not disappear. It follows you. Every hour it sits undone, it drains your energy, creates low-level anxiety, and slowly, quietly erodes the confidence that comes from being a man who handles things. But the man who does the hard thing first, by 9 in the morning he has already done the thing most men spend all day running from, and everything after that, every task, every conversation, every challenge feels lighter because the heaviest thing is already done. That freedom compounds day after day into unshakable confidence of the man who does not run from hard things, who faces them, who handles them, who moves through life with a forward momentum that most men only dream about. He reviews and adjusts every single day. This is the one most men skip. And it is the one that separates men who plateau from men who keep rising indefinitely. At the end of every day, 5 minutes. That is all it takes. 5 minutes of honest, quiet accounting. Not journaling for an hour. Not a complicated system. Just 3 questions. What did I do well today? Why did I fall below my standard? What does tomorrow need from me? 3 questions, answered honestly, every single night. Here is why this habit is so powerful. Without daily review, small compromises compound invisibly into larger ones. One skipped training session becomes a week. One avoided conversation becomes a pattern. One small drift from the standard becomes the new standard, and you did not even notice it is happening. The man who reviews daily catches the drift before it becomes a direction. He never wanders far from his standard because he checks his position every single night. That is not self-punishment. That is self-mastery. The difference between a man who manages himself and a man who is managed by circumstances. And the first question, what did I do well today, is not optional. It is not vanity. It is calibration. A man who only tracks where he fell short eventually stops tracking altogether. The man who also tracks his wins, who acknowledges what he did right, stays in the game long enough for the compounding to produce something extraordinary. These 5 habits will not transform your life in a week, but held consistently, without drama, without exception, without waiting for motivation, they will transform the man who holds them, and that man transforms everything else. The standard. want to be clear about something before this video ends. These 5 habits are not a challenge. A challenge has an end date. A challenge is something you attempt for 30 days and then evaluate whether to continue. A challenge is something you can opt out when it gets hard and feel fine about it because the challenge is over. These are not that. These are a decision, a permanent, non-negotiable decision about the standard you hold yourself to. Not because someone told you to, not because you are motivated today, because you have decided clearly, consciously, permanently that this is who you are. That guy does not wake up every morning and renegotiate with himself about whether to hold his standard today. The negotiation is over. The decision was made. He just executes. Now, I am not asking you to implement all 5 of these tomorrow. That is not how lasting change is built. What I am asking is this. Look at these 5 habits honestly. Which one has the biggest gap between where you are right now and where you need to be? Which one have you been avoiding the longest? Which one, if you held it for 30 days without exception, would change the most about how you operate? Start there. 1 habit, 30 days, no negotiation, no days off, no exceptions. Build the first one until it is no longer a habit, until it is simply who you are. Then add the next and the next. Build the architecture slowly. Build it to last. Close and bridge. That guy is not built in moments of inspiration. He is built in the ordinary moments, the unremarkable Tuesdays, the low energy Thursdays, the morning when nothing feels significant and nobody is watching, and there is no particular reason to show up except for the standard he set for himself. He is built in the decision to show up anyway, to hold the standard anyway, to keep going, not because it feels good today, but because he decided, and decided men do not stop. Now you have the habits, but habits alone are not enough if the mind behind them is fragile. The next video goes into the mental game, how that guy thinks when life gets hard, when the pressure builds, when the plan falls apart and everything seems to be going wrong at the same time. That is the video that separates the men who build something lasting from the men who build and then lose it when things get difficult. Watch it now. The work continues. We are not done. Keep elevating. Remember the goal. Highest elevation of the self. If this habit hits, send this to a man who needs a blueprint, not just a vision.